Well, you know, sometimes you gotta just talk about things that you don't want to talk about on this channel. That's the world that we've come to, and you know, I know this is kind of a stray from the norm. I could call this like Kevin's Economic Soapbox. I don't know if everybody gets the same commercials on Hulu or not. Lately, I've been getting one that's like Hardee's, and it's this country song. I'm going hard at the Hardee's. I'm assuming Hardee's is embracing hard Christianity. That's not what I want to talk about today, and that's not what you're here to hear. You're here to hear what I think about this Axe the pink tax. I don't know if you've heard of the pink tax. Some people talk about the pink tax as apparently in some states in the United States, tampons are considered luxuries. There's a tax on that. Kind of ridiculous, but that's a sign of the times, I suppose. That's not what this is talking about. I think luxury taxes in general are bad ideas. I used to live in Argentina and they had luxury taxes on computers because, you know, the assumption is, well, anybody who has a computer, they're rich. And if you're rich, you can afford a little tax. So if you wanted to buy an Apple computer, they start at $999. Well, they're going to start at $1,500. The problem there, rich people can afford it, so they'll go ahead and buy it. But the people who can't afford it aren't the rich. You've created this huge barrier of entry for, you know, people in the middle class, people who would have been able to afford a computer before, now can't afford a computer, unable to educate themselves in crazy amount of ways because, you know what, we're gonna tax the rich people. And that, my friends, contributes to what's called
wealth disparity.
Listen up, my Bernie Sanders supporters. Whenever you tax the rich and create an artificial government-imposed barrier of entry. So I don't agree with luxury taxes in general, but today we're not talking about a tax, and that's probably what gets on my nerves the most about this, because we're just talking about naturally occurring market prices. I was watching my favorite Hardee's commercial. On comes this commercial, and I just had to show it to you guys. This is about the pink tax, but it's not the tampon one. There isn't a single tampon on this. I mean, I didn't come here looking for tampons, okay? I'm not weird like that. It costs more to be a woman. Seriously. Because of the pink tax, the average woman pays an extra $1,351 a year. Now, I'm assuming that you're talking about American women. There's a large percentage of the world population that doesn't even make this much, so there's no way they can choose between pink and any other color. So that's how much women apparently pay just for being a woman. That's a tax that the government apparently is charging you for being a woman. Let's listen to them get real about the pink tax. You and me both, sister. It's called the pink tax. We call it unacceptable.
We are spending more than men on the exact same stuff.
Exact same stuff.
Then, stop spending more than men on the exact same stuff. I don't get it. Why would you do that? What are you talking about? I've never gone up to the cash register and bought stuff for me and my wife and had to separate. This one's gonna be for my wife, so I need to pay that girl tax. If so, I would just say that it wasn't for her, and I would just buy everything for me and then let her use it. Maybe that's what we should do.
Companies hike up the prices on products marketed toward women.
Oh, now I get it. Things marketed towards women. That's not a tax. Let me see what the old internet says a tax is. A compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by government on work income and business profits or added to the cost of some goods. What you're describing is not a tax, for one, and you're not being forced to pay it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head and making you pay it.
On dry cleaning, haircut.
Not to stereotype, but women's hair is different than guys. I mean, I know that I sound like I'm reading from 1 Corinthians 11 right now. In general, I'm sure if you go in to a hair place and you're like, look, I'm a girl, but I would just like the haircut that boys get. You can pay the, $20 for the men's haircut, but that's not the exact same stuff.
Deodorant, shampoo.
Are they taking the bottle and putting the same thing in the girls? If it's the exact same stuff, then buy the other stuff. If it's different, though, in any way, then that's not
exact same.
Honestly, you know, I could go through and say, well, probably the reason why it costs more is, and I could speculate as to why it costs more on terms of production side. You know, Dove is a company that primarily makes girl stuff, but they also make men's stuff. All of their men's stuff, you know, look at the label. They just changed the color on this label. If you look at the label on the girls, they've got a different fruit for every single one. That was a whole team that went into doing all that. In fact, I'm actually surprised that it's only 10 cents just on that alone. But I don't think that's even the most contributing factor. I think the factor is that Dove is known for being made for women, so the demand is lower on stuff that is made for men, made by Dove. When demand is lower, you lower the price to try to get people to purchase it.
And underwear and hair stuff.
See, now this lady gets the idea about the haircuts.
Do you know they charge us extra for white tees?
They do? Let's see. Let's go to Walmart. Go to Walmart! Okay, so here, women, let's just go with this one here, I guess. It's not a t-shirt, but I don't want to show you guys all these underwear pictures. Look, it's a bestseller. It's on sale for $6.48. Look at that. What? Look at how much more expensive it is for this one. This one's even on sale and it's more expensive. So it's not even true. If you're spending more for white tees, then you're going to the wrong place.
The pink teddy bear is going to be more expensive than the blue teddy bear.
All right, so I just checked it out, and the pink teddy bear and the blue teddy bear are the same price. The only pink and blue teddy bear that I could find. So that's wrong.
If that sounds insane, it is.
Though I'm sure that you could come up with some reason why you're being discriminated against because the pink one is on sale and the blue one is not. I mean, if I were to even explain that away, I would just say that culturally, because pink is generally considered something for girls, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, it's just a color, but currently in our culture, just as you guys are suggesting, pink stuff is, generally looked at for girls, but blue can be for boys or girls. There's a larger market, so they're probably able to sell more of those.
The pink tax is insulting.
Women spend an extra $1,351 a year just for being women.
You could get a dog for that much money.
Wow, see, so these girls are not only paying too much for white tees and for teddy bears and for shampoo, but they're also spending too much for dogs. Barkley, come here. Look at this. Look at this dog. This guy could compete.
Stop spending so much for your dogs.
We need to axe the pink tax. We need to axe the pink tax.
I think I would agree if this was saying we need to get rid of taxes. Let's axe taxes altogether. That'd be great, because obviously they're not doing any good. Part of our taxes are going to public schools, and you didn't learn anything about economics. I've never seen anything so economically ignorant before. I highly recommend you check out the book Economics in One Lesson. It's really helpful, and it would really help you guys not make a big old commercial trying to tell everybody, hey, we need to get rid of this thing that's unfair. It's not an arbitrary number. No company is like, well, we hate women, so we're going to charge them more for this. That would be a stupid business move for them to market something directly towards women and then upcharge them more than what that particular product is selling for, just because they hate women. It actually has nothing to do with, or it doesn't entirely have to do with how much the goods and the services cost that are required in order to make a thing. Here, let me play you a quick clip from a YouTube channel called Econ Clips, linked in the description below, that might help you understand this a little better.
Prices are not determined solely by the sellers. Equally important in the process of market price formation are the buyers. In no possible scenario is price determined with complete freedom by the seller. He must always take the consumer into account. It sometimes happens that while releasing a product on the market, an entrepreneur will mistakenly overprice it, so no one wants to buy it. He is then forced to sell his product below its cost of production to recover at least some portion of the capital he invested in its production. Also explains why works of art such as paintings are very expensive, even though the paint and the canvas needed for their creation were relatively cheap.
There's an old saying that says things are only worth what people are willing to pay for it, and that's exactly what we're talking about here. So take something that has nothing to do with women, like a banana. Why does a banana not cost $100? Kevin, that's outrageous. Bananas would never cost that. Right. Why does a banana not cost $1? I don't know if you've bought a banana recently, but they cost less than $1. How do they determine sale price? What a company does is it sets the price based on what they would like to get out of that. But if nobody's buying it, then they lower the price because you don't want your money wrapped up in that kind of inventory. But that could change depending on varying circumstances. Have you ever gone into the gas station and seen like one banana for sale? It costs more there than it would at, let's say, Kroger. Is that because gas stations just hate their customers and people at Kroger love their customers? No, it means that there's varying circumstances there. I think gas stations probably buy fewer bananas because they know they're not going to sell as many bananas, but also the demand for a banana or demana, when someone really wants a banana at a gas station, is a little bit higher because it's more convenient. What they have to offer, the convenience, is worth it to you. But it's not worth it to everybody, and guess what? You can save yourself a little money by doing a little effort. But if you don't want to do any effort, then you're gonna end up like these ladies, and you're gonna spend more money. There's no doubt in my mind that companies spend a ton of money on marketing to women. But marketing at a certain demographic, that's what companies do. You don't have to listen to them.
The only thing the capitalists can do to us without government assistance is to offer us his products. We, as a customers, can buy it or not. The capitalist will earn only if he would offer us a good or a service that we want in decent price.
I actually posted about this on Twitter, and I got all these girls who were saying, yeah, I just use men's razors. So my recommendation to you guys, if you want to fight the pink tax, stop buying pink things and just buy stuff that is gender neutral. Isn't that what we should all be striving for anyway? Gender neutrality, egalitarianism. So really this pink tax isn't so much a tax against women, it's a tax for lazy and ignorant people who don't want to clip coupons, search for sales, and find bargains. And hey, if the convenience of not having to do those things is worth it for you, then, well, that's the price you have to pay. Something to think about. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really encourage you to read that book, and so that you guys don't end up putting yourself on national TV and embarrassing yourself like these women, these poor women did. Like, what do you want? What do you guys want? You want to, you want legislation? You want to, like, make a law that says, hey, you can't use optimal sale price. You actually have to charge women less. They want to axe the pink tax. Being bold changes everything. And what's bolder than pink brows?
A crummy commercial? Son of a